What's up, sports bettors? I know I gave out this play previously, $100 to win $2,000 on Underdog Fantasy, but I'm leveling up. I have an incredible entry, $1,000 to win 20 grand. Okay, so let's go through it because these plays are really freaking good. So let's get into it. So the first play I have, these are just from the OddsJam EV tool. So what's really nice about the positive EV tool is it kind of like scans the markets for whatever sports books you have selected. It will auto detect, your location, and by default it will show you all Arizona sports books, but you can filter for just the ones you use. So I was looking at Underdog Fantasy and I found two positive EV plays. So positive EV bets just mean they have an edge. They're not guaranteed to win. There's no such thing as a lock. That's all BS in sports betting. OddsJam is all about, daily returns, verifiable edges. So here, for example, you're getting Halliburton under 2.5 made threes at minus 122 on Underdog Fantasy. Every sportsbook is pricing this minus 140 to minus 150. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The OddsJam column is just the same as the Pinnacle column. We have 7 data points, 7 sports books, 7 markets, all telling us this should be priced minus 140 to minus 150. We're getting minus 122. That's a no-brainer. Clearly enough value to beat the VIG, beat the juice, in a play we want to be on, a play with an edge, right? So this percent column is just your profit margin. So this KJ Osborne play, for example, has a profit margin of 2.92%. So what that means is essentially like, okay, over the course of the long run, if you place bets with 2.92% edge or EV or profit margin, you'll earn that return. So of course, this individual bet may still lose, but over the course of the long run, if you're placing plays with an actual edge, you're going to make money. It's guaranteed due to the law of large numbers. It's kind of like if you have a coin that's 51% to show up on heads. Of course, it can still show up on tails 49% of the time, but if you flip that coin a million times, it's literally guaranteed 99.9999999% of the time it's going to show up on heads more often. And I say that all the time, when I'm giving out plays, is like here you can see on this verifiable bet tracker. It's on Twitter. I'm up $159,000 in 2022 for the sports books they support. It's a verifiable bet tracker, which means you can't manually enter bets. It automatically links to your accounts. So ups and downs, but when you're placing bets with an edge, again, you always make money over the course of a large sample size. So for the books I've synced, I'm 3,000, here's my record, whatever. Anyways, the EV tool is great because it shows you where there's value in the market. It literally just points out big pricing discrepancies for bets at the same line, right? So here, Underdog, just like the sports books, has Halliburton's threes line at over under 2.5. So all OddsJam is pointing out to me is like, there's a ton of value on the under on Underdog Fantasy. And this is only possible because every sportsbook sets lines independently. So we essentially have 1, 2, 3. We essentially have all these sports books. How I consider it is imagine, this was a stock. On Underdog, you can get it for 122. On all the sports books, they're pricing it $140 to $150. You can buy it for 122. Seems like a pretty freaking good bet, right? That's how you want to think about sports betting. You're looking through the market and hunting for value. So here are the first 2 plays I'm on. Now, I have some other plays, so let's get into it. So I have some from, this is called a screen on OddsJam. And why this is useful, so you may be like, why do I need multiple tools? And the reason this is useful is it allows you to compare lines set at different levels. So here, for example, we can see Fred VanVleet. His line, his point total is at 19.5 on Underdog Fantasy. On the sports books, he's 21.5, right? So Underdog is 2 points below the sports books. that's how you find bets with an edge, right? 2 points is a big deal. 19.5 versus 21.5. 2 points is an extremely big deal. If Van Vliet has 20 or 21 points, I'm winning on underdog. Everyone else is pushing or losing. So that's a huge deal. And then the final play I went with is Siakam under 8.5 rebounds. You can find this on the screen. You can find this line shopping, here. OddsJam is all about different presentations of data, trying to make it actionable, right? Like, how are you going to find this discrepancy manually? It's not going to happen. You're not going to go to Underdog Fantasy, scan these tens of thousands of odds, have 50 plus sports books up, and be able to compare everything and hunt for value easily. It's not going to happen, right? OddsJam is software with a bunch of different betting tools designed to make spotting these big discrepancies possible, right? So long story short, a lot of picks to win 20 grand. Here's what it is. Halliburton under 2.5 threes. Koo under 1.5 field goals. Osborne under 2.5 receptions. Siakam under 8.5 rebounds. Van Vliet over 19.5 points. Let's make money. Let's go. Please tail this. 5 picks to win 20 grand. I mean, seriously, let's go.